Yes, people, what's going on? Hope you're all good. Another loss for the Miami Dolphins, 7 in a row, and it doesn't look like we're getting any better. We were better today, but the scoreline doesn't reflect how the game went, and I mean, it was a tale of two halves, really, for this Miami team today. And look, you could focus on Buffalo, and that's what all the media are going to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on the Dolphins and what's going wrong and where I think we need to improve. And I mean, obviously, we're at a very big point in terms of trade rumours. The trade deadline is Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern time. And there's still talks, although people have said, Brian Flores has come out and Tua has come out and they said it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong and Tua's our guy and blah, 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 blah. There's still talks about Deshaun Watson. And I kind of have a feeling I know why that is, which is because Chris Greer, who, I mean, I've got no problem with him at all. However, he has not really got an ability to draft. And, I mean, you look at the players that we've kind of sussed out previously, the ones that are actually doing well for us are the ones that Brian Flores went, yeah, I like him, yeah. And you could see that he was actively really excited about them coming in. They were Flores picks, where I kind of get the vibe that Chris Greer picks Austin Jackson, who was not great again today. Tua, who has struggled. I mean, Noah Igbenogany, who's done nothing, not his fault. He's too young. He should never have been picked where he was. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch, again, me being in the UK, if you can't already tell. Every Sunday night, for me, every Sunday afternoon, for all you people in America watching this, it's just, what's coming. And we knew what was coming today. And the first half, it was a prime example of the hope that kills you, because we were 3 apiece, and we looked like there was, especially towards the end of the first half, there was a couple of different incidents which I'll talk about. We had the Jason Sanders missed field goal, which is probably about 3 in a row, something stupid like that now for him. He has missed a fair few field goals in the last few weeks. He missed one in London, he missed one last week, and he missed one today. I'm pretty sure it's 3 games in a row. He has missed a field goal, and we paid him money. That's a tough one. Now, you're not going to necessarily trade a kicker and get loads of value out of it, and I'm not saying that we would do that, but there just seems to be a mentality problem with this team, and that is an example of it. I mean, you look at the game today, we had a point where we could have gone ahead just before half-time, and we knew we were getting the ball back. So if we were to have gone and scored a touchdown, been 7 points up, and then knowing that we're going into the second half, scored on the first drive of the second half, we'd have been 14 points ahead. Now, that's momentum. That's getting in the right confidence, like getting the right attitude, everything going in that regard. But it was the same thing that let us down. The defense today actually showed up, and a lot of people might pin it on certain things. The defense showed up today, and the problem is they faded off in the second half, and the reason they did that is because the offense, every single time it got on the field, was straight off again. And the reason for that is because we can't run the ball. Every good thing that Devontae Parker did today, he finished inside the numbers. He finished inside the numbers and kept the clock ticking. The defense wasn't actually on the field that much in the first half. And then all of a sudden, everyone goes, oh yeah, it was a massive difference between... Of course, the more you're on the field, the more energy you're just exerting. Now, of course, the Bills struggled in terms of offense, and we were able to get at their offensive line, which was missing a very key player today, whose name I have forgotten. Either way, was missing someone. We got at him. We made Josh Allen suffer for the first half because we were doing it in short, sharp impacts, short, sharp sessions. That's what we were doing. We were coming in, causing problems, going out again. Rest up, go again. Rest up, go again. And the second half came through, we were on the field constantly because the Dolphins' offense just stopped. It absolutely stopped. And again, that's because we had no game management on offense. We had the poor communication for what the hell happened towards the end of the first half with Mike Gesicki. It was a shambles. And it happened at early stages in the second half as well. It might have even been on our first drive. But the defense showed up, but it can't show up forever. And I think there's a lot of people that are expecting this Dolphins defense to go and deliver constantly. That's never going to be its job. No defense ever delivers constantly. If it does, it's on the field very, very few times. That is what makes a good defense. You have to be able to. You're always almost defending from the front. If you have got a problem on defense, which our defense has been struggling, you have to be able to run the ball, move it on offense, and just take the pressure off. The same thing of what we've been doing on defense, taking the pressure off the offense, keeping us in certain games throughout large chunks this season. We can't do it the other way around. The best thing about last year's team, we were scoring on special teams, coming up with massive plays. We had a couple of good plays today, actually, on special teams. I was quite impressed by. Not obviously same as last year. Of course, we were scoring touchdowns for fun last year and various different things. But we had somewhat success on special teams today. We didn't do anything stupid. We played our game. That was absolutely fine. Today, the defence in the second half had to come and deliver, and it didn't because it was just knackered by the time that it had come on the field in the second half, and Josh Allen was pissed off, and you knew that he was going to bounce back. You knew it was coming. We all saw it was coming. We had to take the lead, and we didn't do it. We did not do it, and we didn't even look close to doing it. That's the problem. And everyone's going to say, look, the Deshaun Watson trade rumours, Deshaun Watson, he may not solve this problem. Will he help towards the problem? Yes, he will. Will he solve it? No. The offensive line is abysmal. The run game is abysmal. Every good thing that Myles Gaskin does is a catch and run. 22-yard completion he had. It's a throw. It's not a run game because he's a running back. Fine. But every single time we had the ball and we put it in either Salvon Ahmed's hands or Myles Gaskin's hands directly from the snap, we run straight into the offensive line that couldn't control the defensive line of Buffalo. They couldn't control it. They were all over the place. And yet we still do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. Our offensive line is poor. It's shocking. It's abysmal, actually. Now, we obviously traded away our pick, so we have no option but to just carry on and play. We're in a real rock and a hard place situation now because I'm looking at it thinking, well, let's just not injure Xavier Howard. Let's not injure Tua. And we could just tank, essentially, get a better draft pick because our season is over. We can't do that anymore because we don't own our pick. We own the 49ers pick. They won today. And the Eagles won today. That's a very annoying thing as well. The Eagles currently have, I think at the moment, it's the second overall pick in the draft. It must be the second overall pick in the draft. Only Detroit are worse than us. Yeah, it must be the second overall pick in the draft because of our inability to get the ball moving on offense. Our offensive line has gifted, and Chris Greer have gifted Philadelphia the likely to be second pick in the draft. I think we're currently 10th. Really? Now, the only good thing is we don't need a QB because no one is talking about us taking another QB. It's either going to be Deshaun Watson or it's going to be Tua. I actually like it to be Tua. I do look a lot of respect for Deshaun Watson and what he does and will he make this team better? Yes, but you still have to be able to improve the offensive line. Now, we could go and be deliberately crap. We can go and do whatever we want if we go and trade by the deadline for Deshaun Watson, but we give up the lot. We give up everything. And I think if we give up everything, it's just Chris Greer trying to save his job. Now, it's nothing against Deshaun Watson. It's nothing against anything to do with any other player on the Dolphins. That is just Chris Greer trying to save his ass. And if it doesn't work out, and when I say work out, I think they still want to attempt to make the playoffs this year, which is never going to happen. We could maximum get 10 wins. We got 10 wins last year and missed out. There's some cracking teams. You all know the Chiefs are going to come back as well. The Bengals are a decent side. The Bills are a decent side. We're going to struggle. We ain't getting in. Just give up. Give up and start to think for the future. Now, I hate to say this. I'm a football fan or a soccer fan, if anyone's watching this in the States. Unfortunately, there is a sacking culture. People get fired if they don't deliver. Now, I hate to say this, but I don't know necessarily if Brian Flores' job is safe. Now, I don't agree with that because I think he's been a fantastic coach for us, and I do genuinely back him. But if there's problems that keep getting spoken about in the locker room, are we giving the power to the players? Are we giving the power to Chris Greer? Who the hell's got it? The best thing about New England is that Belichick runs everything. He gets the backing, he gets the ownership, he gets the funding, he gets whatever, but he runs everything. Everything's his. You have to impress this guy, Bill Belichick. In Miami, who are we impressing? Is it Brian Flores? Is it Chris Greer? Is it the general manager? Is it the owner? Who is it? And again, we have the same thing going constantly round and round and round. We are all not impressed as fans. We are clearly all heartbroken. But it's the same problems that come round and round and round. We cannot run the ball to save our lives. Offensive play calling is abysmal, and we don't know who's taking ownership from it. That is a ginormous problem for the Miami Dolphins because we don't actually know who's meant to be in charge. Who is the problem? Who is the issue? We don't know because no one tells us. It's like this secret society of just trying to cover people's backs. All I know for a fact, and that's what I'm going to call out now, the Dolphins are a good side in terms of players and actual squad depth, but we're not playing like it. If we're not playing like it, that's on the players. That's on the players. Now, someone like Mike Gesicki, who was clearly frustrated today, I don't think he did anything wrong. He had the biggest completion of the day. I don't think Tua did anything wrong today. He threw an interception. He's trying to go and win a game. He's got to try and push something. He's got to go and attempt to win the game for us. It was just embarrassing, honestly. And there's a couple of people on offense I really want to praise. And Tua and Mike Gesicki are definitely two of them. A couple of people on defense I want to praise as well. But it's just the same old, same old. And if things don't change, heads have got to be rolling, whether that's in terms of Brian Flores, Chris Greer, whether that's in terms of players, I don't know. But the Dolphins, in the next 2 days, need to decide what the hell they want to do with the future of this franchise. Because if we do nothing, the mediocrity is just going to continue throughout the rest of the season. And we're going to head into next year on the same mediocrity. Unless we train for Deshaun Watson, which may give people a kick up the arse, but I don't bank on it. It's abysmal. I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, but look, we were in the game. We were a little bit better today. We played against a very good Buffalo side, but they were still missing a very key part of their offensive line, which we frustrated, but we couldn't get over the line. We couldn't get over the line. It's just poor. I don't think Tua did anything wrong. I'm sure people will be out to criticise him. It's not his best game, but it's definitely not his worst, and I would definitely not say it's a bad showing, bearing in mind how good the Bills are, but the Dolphins need to help him. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you later in case anything changes. I'll see you probably Tuesday. We'll see what happens with the trade deadline. See you later.